Welcome. The topic we'll be discussing in this lecture is evaluation of expressions. So basically this is one of the applications of stack. Previously we have discussed that stack is widely applied for managing function calls and returns. But there is another important application of stack which is evaluation of an arithmetic expression. So here evaluation means, what do we mean? Say consider this particular example expression which is given here. X is equal to a slash b minus e plus d star e minus a star c. So when you see this expression, there will be a question like how it should be evaluated. Like first we should perform a star c, or first should we perform b minus c, or in what order it should be evaluated. That there is a question. Okay. So this will be decided by the compiler. This will be decided by the compiler, and there is a mechanism, or there is a standard procedure to decide like in what order it will be executed. Okay. So there are two things here important when an evaluation is getting executed. One is precedence, the other one is associativity. Okay. There are two things here. It is important that these terms are, one is precedence, okay, the other one is associativity. So what is precedence and what is associativity? Precedence means, precedence is nothing but priority. Precedence is nothing but priority. That is, which operation is having higher priority over which operation. That is called as precedence. So generally, if you see, multiplication has higher priority over addition and subtraction. Okay. So that is called as precedence or priority. Okay. And what is associativity? In the sense, if two or more operators, if two or more operators, so associativity, okay, if two or more operation has the same precedence or same priority, then in which order they should execute. So that is called as associativity. So associativity, there can be, generally the instructions are executed in left to right order. Okay. It will be executed from left to right, but some cases, some rare cases, it may be also executed from right to left. Okay. This right to left is a rare thing, but still for some of the operators it may execute from, the compiler may execute it from right to left. Okay. So when an instruction is getting executed, these two things are important: precedence and associativity. Precedence is nothing but priority, and associativity is nothing but how it should be executed. Okay. So for example, if you take this particular expression that we are discussing here, first let us identify what are the operators here. Okay. In this expression, what are the operators? So there is a operator slash. Okay. There is a operator minus, there is a operator plus, there is a operator star, again minus, again star. Okay. So basically there are how many operators? Slash is there, subtraction is there, addition is there, and star is there. So these are the operators. Okay. Here, out of all these operators, if you see, star and slash has the higher priority. Out of these four operators, star and slash has the higher priority. Okay. And also they have equal priority. They have the higher priority, and also their priority level also same. Okay. They have equal priority. Okay. Similarly, minus and plus, out of these four operators, they have the lower priority, and their priority level is also same. Okay. Say for example, I am telling the priority level of slash is 10, then the priority level of star is also 10. Both are same. If the priority level of minus is 5, then the priority level of plus is also 5. That is both are same. Okay. This is 10, sorry. So the priority level of uh, star and slash are same. Okay, this is not the exact priority level, we are assuming. Let us assume that the priority level of star and slash is 10 and the priority level of plus and minus is 5. So now these are the four operators. So which has the highest priority? Obviously slash and star has the highest priority. Okay. So from this we have understood that either this part or this part should execute first. Okay. This minus is not included here. Okay. But now again there is a question. We have uh, we have three sub expressions. We have three sub expressions which involves star and slash. We have three sub expressions which involves star and slash. So how it should be executed? Now the question is whether it should be executed left to right or right to left. Whether A star C should execute first or A slash B should execute first. So in that case, okay, the rule of associativity for arithmetic operations, it says that it should be executed from left to right. Okay, so first this will be executed, A slash B will be executed, then D star E will be executed, then A star C will be executed. Okay, now say this A star B is that the result is X, D star E the result is Y, A star C the result is Z. Okay, now what will happen? Now what are the other operators you see? Minus, plus, again minus. So all these three are equal precedence. Again this will execute from left to right. Okay, that is X will be X minus C, it will perform. That result will be added with Y. Y is nothing but D star E. Okay, and that result will be subtracted from Z. Z is nothing but A star C. So this is how it will execute. Okay, fine. But there is so this is how this particular instruction will be executed by the C compiler. But if the instruction is more complex, then how it will execute? Then there is a table which actually defines the precedence and associativity rule. Okay, so before going to that, let us see some small understanding. Okay, let us assume this is the instruction which we want to evaluate. Let us assume A is 4 and B and C are holding the value 2 and D and E are holding the value 3. Okay, then how this instruction should be executed? There is one style of execution like this. First you do A by B, which is 4 by 2, then minus C, then plus D star E, which is 3 into 3, minus A star C, which is 4 into 2. In that case the result will be 0 plus 8 plus 9. Okay, so what is that? 0 plus 8. So how it comes? Minus 1. How it comes? 1. So 4 by 2 is 2. 2 minus 2, yeah, 0. 2 minus 2 is 0, plus 3 into 3, 9. 9 minus 8. Okay, so it is 9 minus 8. I think there is something wrong here. It is actually 0 plus 3 threes are 9. So 0 plus 9 minus 8, right? So this is 0 plus 9 minus 8. So the result is 1. Okay, or it can be interpreted like this: 4 divided by b minus c plus d. Okay, b minus c plus d. So in that case it becomes 4 by 2 minus 2 plus 3 into e minus a, which is nothing but 3 minus 4 into 2. If you interpret that this way, then it will become like this: 4 by 3 into minus 1 into 2, which is nothing but minus 2.66. But actually how it should be executed? So this instruction can be interpreted in several ways. Like that, there are different instructions which can be interpreted in different ways. Okay, so generally the compiler of the respective programming language will have some procedure like how this instruction should be executed, right? And that procedure will be defined by the set of precedence and associative rule. Okay, fine. Now let us see what is the precedence and associative rule for C programming. So the precedence and associativity rule for the C programming is given by this table, right? So in an expression, if you find things like this, open bracket, close bracket, it may be open, what do you call, curly bracket and close curly bracket, or open square bracket and close square bracket, or arrow operator or dot operator. So arrow and dot are used with accessing structure members. When you access a structure member using a normal structure variable, we use dot. When you access a structure member using a pointer variable, we use arrow. Okay? If these are also operators, okay, if any of these operators are there in the expression, then that part will execute first, and that has the highest precedence. Its precedence level is 17. Okay, if the expression contains more than one such information, okay, say there is an expression x is equal to something, but there are two brackets, there is one bracket here, there is another bracket here, okay, there is another arrow operator here, okay, in between there is something is there, okay, then something is here, let us not bother about that. Then there is a question like which should be executed first. So for that it follows associativity rule. So for these tokens, the associativity rule is left to right. So first this part will execute, then this part, and then this arrow part. Okay. So it has the highest priority. So in an expression, if there is a bracket or structure access, that will be performed first. Okay. And it follows the left to right pattern. Right. The next highest priority goes to post decrement and post increment. Okay, there are two decrement and increment. Okay, so the next table also you can see decrement increment, but there is a number 2 here in the superscript, which means that this is it is talking about post decrement and post increment. So this has the highest priority after brackets and arrow operator. Okay, it has the priority of 16. So again, if the expression has more than one post increment or post decrement, then it will execute in left to right order. Okay, and the next priority goes to, this is pre decrement and pre increment. This number says it is pre decrement and pre increment, and logical not, this tilde, it's a tilde symbol, which means ones complement of the number. I think you might have learned what is ones complement. Ones complement means converting all ones to zeros and all zeros to one. Okay, if you take a number 2, okay, then if you convert to binary, it will be something like the 0 1 1. Ones complement of this is convert all ones to zeros and all zeros to 1. Okay, then it will become 1 1 0 0. If it is a 4-bit number, I'm telling. Okay, there is no 4-bit number. If it is a 8-bit number, then it will become all the remaining 4 bits also, it will become 1. Okay, right, because they are also zeros, so all zeros will be converted to 1 and ones will be converted to 0. Now what is the decimal equivalent of this, that will be displayed, right? So that is tilde. Okay, so tilde, which is ones complement, unary plus and minus. Say if I'm writing an expression like this, 3 plus minus 4, okay, a is equal to 3 plus minus 4, then what does it mean? It means actually a is equal to 3 minus 4, because this minus 4, this minus is now associated with only this 4. So this is a unary operator. Okay, so this is unary operator, whereas this is a binary operator, because it is operating on two operands, 3 and minus 4. Okay, whereas this minus is applicable only for this operand. Okay, fine. It can be with a variable also. For example, you can say that b is equal to minus 4. Okay, b is equal to minus 4. Now if I write a is equal to 3 plus b, then what does it mean? A is equal to 3 plus b means actually it means 3 plus minus 4, right? This minus, it is associated only with b, so that is called as unary plus and unary minus, right? So that also has the next highest priority. Okay, and the next, and then star and ampersand, which is used with pointers, address and indirection operator, and then size of is also an operator. So in malloc and calloc we are using size of. Okay, so all these takes the third level of priority with a value of 15. So if an expression contains more than one of these operators, then they will be executed in the order of right to left. They will be executed in the order right to left. Okay. And next then comes the typecasting. So in typecasting, converting one data type to another data type, even with malloc, we used to write like this: int star then malloc. So what is that? That's a typecasting. You are converting it to an integer pointer. So typecasting has the next highest priority of 14, and if an expression contains more than one typecasting, then that will execute from right to left. Okay. Okay. And so you can see here all these has the highest priorities. First is this bracket, and then post increment, then post increment, post decrement, then pre increment, pre decrement, and unary plus, unary minus, star, ampersand, I mean indirection operator, ampersand, then typecast. Now comes multiplicative, that is multiplication, division, and modulo operation. All this takes the next highest priority of 13. If an expression contains more than one of these operations, then it will be executed in this order, left to right. Okay, fine. The next highest priority goes to binary addition and subtraction. Okay, it has the value of 12. It also executes from left to right. Next, for shift, left shift and right shift. Okay, you can shift the bit positions in C, right? So shifting by 1 times or 2 times, that has the next highest priority 11. That also execute from left to right. Then all the relational operators, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. So this has the next highest priority. Again, if an expression contains more than one of these, then it will execute from left to right. The next is equal to or not equal to. So this has the next highest priority of 9. It will also, if an expression contains more than one such thing, then it will execute from left to right. And this is for bitwise AND, to perform bitwise AND on two operands. So this has the next, that is, if an expression contains more than one bitwise AND, it will execute from left to right. Then bitwise exclusive OR, the next highest priority, it will also execute from left to right if there are more than one exclusive OR is to be done. Then bitwise OR, this is the next highest priority, it will also execute from left to right. Then this is logical AND, double AND. Okay, so bitwise AND means it is to perform bit operation. Okay, if you have two numbers, say a is equal to 2 and b is equal to 3, then bitwise AND, what it will do means a is 2, that is 0 1 1. Okay, sorry, 0 1 0 2. B is 3, that is 0 1 1. Okay, so bitwise AND, what it will do, it will perform AND. 0 and 1 is 0, 1 and 1 is 1, 0 and 1 is 0, remaining all 0. So if you perform bitwise AND on 2 and 3, so actually it is a 16 bit, right? Sorry, 4 bytes. So it is, how many bytes allocated for integer? 4 bytes, that is 32 bits. Okay, so all the remaining things also are zeros, right? So let us not bother about that. 0 and 0 will be 0. Okay, so it is, the result is 2. Finally the result is also 2. Okay, right? Whereas logical AND is used to compare two things. If you want to check, like if a is equal to b, if a is equal to b and x is equal to y, then do something. In that case you have to use logical AND. Okay, 2 times you have to use. So it means this particular thing will execute only if a is equal to b is satisfied, and also if x is equal to y is satisfied. Okay, but if you use single AND symbol, then that is bitwise AND, right? So that is the next highest priority. That is also execute from left to right. Next, logical OR. Actually the symbol is this pipe symbol. I think there is something wrong here. So it has the next highest priority, and that also executes left to right. And then this is a conditional statement similar to Java. So it has the next highest priority. It also executes from right to right. This executes from right to left, not left to right. Okay. And then assignment operator and the different variations of assignment operator. This has the next highest priority, and this also execute from. So this is executing from right to left. Assignment. Okay. Yeah. When you say assignment, always it executes from right to left. A is equal to B. It cannot execute from left to right. It executes from right to left. B is assigned to A. Okay. Comma. Comma is also an operator. This has the least priority, and it also executes from left to right. So if you see the table, most of the associativity is from left to right. Very few are from right to left. Post increment, post decrement, pre increment, pre decrement. This is right to left. Sorry, post increment is left to right. Pre increment and pre decrement is right to left. Typecast is right to left. Okay, and then conditional statement is right to left, and then assignment is right to left. Okay, so this is the, so based on this table the execution happens. Okay, so first whichever the operation has the highest priority, the compiler will identify that. If more than one operators are there with the same level of highest priority, then it will be executed either left to right or right to left based on the associativity rule, right? Okay, fine. Now another important thing which we are going to discuss, that is something called as infix and postfix. So what is meant by an infix and postfix? First let us try to understand what is an infix. In an infix expression, the operator will come in between two operands. Okay, in an infix expression, the operator will always appear in between two operands. For example, in this table, left side, whatever you are seeing, all these are infix expressions. Because you can see here 2 plus 3. So this plus is operator, which is coming between 2 and 3. Okay. And then 2 plus 3 star 4. The star is an operator, which is coming between 3 and 4. Okay. So this is an infix expression. Similarly, a star b plus 5. Here star is coming between a and b, and plus is coming between b and 5. So this, everywhere you can see operand will always come between two, uh, operator will come between two operands. Operator will come between two operands. Okay. Here also plus is coming between 1 and 2. Okay. The bracket means sum of this sum number. Okay. This 1 plus 2 result is what? 3. So this star is coming between 3 and 7. Okay. Here you can see star is coming between a and b. Okay. And slash is coming between b and c, right? Here you can see this plus is coming between c and d, minus is coming between b and c. This b minus c plus d will evaluate something, say it is x. So this slash is coming between a and x. X is nothing but b minus c plus d, right? Okay. Okay, then this star is coming between this a by x can be treated as one thing. Finally it will evaluate to 1, right? A by x, say a by x is equal to some value, so that into e minus a. So here also star is coming between two operands, and that result into c, so that this star is also coming between two operands, right? So likewise, if you see everywhere, if the operand appears between two operands, sorry, the operator appears between two operands, then such an expression is called as an infix expression. Okay, operators means what are the operators? Plus, minus, addition, I mean plus, minus, multiplication, division, modulo. Okay, even greater than, less than, whatever we have seen in this table. Okay, this token column, all these are operators. Okay, operands are the one that the operands will be either constant or variables. Okay, operands will be either constant or variable, and these operators will operate on the operands, right? Operators will operate on the operands. Fine. So why we are discussing in the sense, from human perspective, we write the instruction in infix style. Okay, we are comfortable with this understanding, right? So we always write the instruction or expression in an infix notation. But actually for the compiler, the infix notation is not a comfortable notation. It would be easier for the compiler to evaluate the expression if the expression in some other notation, which is called as postfix notation. Okay, it would be easier for the compiler to evaluate the expression if the expression in some other notation, and that notation is called as postfix notation. Okay, so what we are going to discuss is, in this lecture, first we will be discussing how to manually convert an infix expression to a postfix expression. How to manually convert an infix expression to a postfix expression. Okay, then we will be discussing using stack So basically we are discussing the applications of stack. Using stack, how and postfix expression can be evaluated. Okay, that we'll be discussing a particular program. So that is the objective of this topic. So the objective of this topic is, first we'll be discussing how an infix expression can be converted to a postfix expression manually. Okay, and then using the postfix expression, how can we write a program using stack to evaluate the given expression, right? Okay, fine. First, let us understand how to convert an infix expression to a postfix expression. So before converting an infix expression to a postfix expression, we have to add brackets to understand how it is going to execute. So if you take this expression 2 plus 3 star 4, so here there are two operators, plus and star. Which has the highest priority? Star has the highest priority. So this part should execute first. Okay, that is the operands that involving star should execute first. That is 3 star 4 should execute first. So it will execute something like this, 3 star 4. Okay, and the result of 3 star 4 will be added with 2. So there is another bracket, you can write it like this. Okay, because once you add brackets, you can easily convert an infix expression to a postfix expression. Now just go to the innermost bracket. Okay, see, go to the content of the innermost bracket. Here there are only two brackets. This is the outer one and this is the inner one. The innermost one contains what? This 3 star 4. So this operator should replace the closest bracket. Okay, this operator should replace the closest bracket. That is, this star will replace this bracket. Okay, and this plus will replace the next closest closing bracket. Okay, it should only replace the closing bracket. To convert an infix to postfix, it should only replace the closing bracket, and this plus should replace this closing bracket. Okay, so if you do this, then this expression will be converted something like this: 2 3 4. This star is replacing the inner closing bracket, so star, and the plus is replacing the outer closing bracket, plus. Okay, so that you got this, which is the postfix notation of this infix expression. Okay, so this is the postfix notation of this infix expression. Like that, you can work out for other things also. So let us take this a star b plus 5. So again, if you see here, there are two operators, star and plus. So which has the highest priority? Star. So this should execute first. Okay, this should execute first. Okay, so here user has not given any bracket, right? So this will execute, but for our understanding we are adding this bracket for our convenience to convert it to a postfix notation. Okay, then the result of a star b will be added with 5. Okay, so how to convert this to postfix? Again, follow the same rule. Go to the content of the innermost bracket, that is, identify that operator, replace with the closest closing bracket. Okay, next, what is the next? Come to the next level of the bracket. So this is the innermost bracket, this is the next level bracket, and this operator should replace this closing bracket. Okay, so then it will become what? AB star 5 plus AB star 5 plus. Okay, so this is the equivalent instruction, right? Fine. Okay, so like this, say, let us see this instruction. Already here bracket is there, the user itself has given bracket 1 plus 2 within bracket star 7. So now which has the highest priority? This has the highest priority because bracket has the highest priority. Okay, so bracket is a when bracket is a part of the expression, that will execute first. Okay, but for the sake of converting to a postfix, if you are adding bracket, then you should add as per the precedence rule. So here user want to do this 1 plus 2 first, so it means this should execute first, and the result of that should be multiplied with 7. So we are adding only the outer bracket. But to convert it to postfix, again follow the same rule. What is the innermost bracket? 1 plus 2. So the operator involved is plus. That will replace the closest closing bracket. So this closing bracket it will replace. Okay. Now coming to the next level of the bracket, it is this sum star 7. So this star will replace the outermost closing bracket. Okay. So now the result is what? 1 2 plus 1 2 plus 7 star. Okay. So this is the equivalent postfix notation, right? This is the equivalent postfix notation. Okay. Similarly, you can execute, you can think of other instructions. Say this A star B slash C. Here there are two operators, star and slash, both has the equal priority. So then you have to go for associativity rule. So it will execute left to right. Okay, star slash the associativity left to right. So A star B will be done first, and that result will be divided by C. Okay. So to convert it to postfix, again follow the same logic. Innermost bracket is A star B, and the operator involved there will replace the closest closing bracket, and the slash will replace the, and next come to the next outer bracket, and there is a slash that will replace the uh, next closing bracket. Okay, so this becomes what? AB star AB star C slash AB star C slash. This is how it will evaluate. Okay, fine. Let us stop with one more expression. So here next expression, you see again here there are brackets. Already user has given some brackets. Okay, let us go to the innermost one. So this is first level bracket. This is also first level bracket. Okay, there is another inner level bracket. What it contains? B minus C plus D. But there are two operators here, minus and plus. So there is a question, minus and plus both has, so this should be the thing which should execute first. That is sure. Okay. But again here there are two operators. Minus is there, plus is there. So minus and plus has same priority. So in which order it should execute? It should execute left to right. So it means that B minus C should be done first. B minus C should be done first. Okay. And that result should be added with D. And that result should be added with D. Okay. And then whatever it may be. Okay. For our understanding, one more outer bracket we will add. Okay. So now also you start from innermost bracket. So what is the innermost bracket? B minus C is the innermost bracket which we added. So this minus will replace this bracket. Okay. Right. And this plus will replace this closing bracket. Okay. And this slash will replace this particular bracket. Okay. Closing bracket. This minus will replace this bracket. Okay. Right. And what else? Yeah. And so there should be one more bracket, I guess. Here also we can add one bracket. Okay, this E minus A will execute, and that will be multiplied with C. Okay, so this star will replace this bracket. Okay, and this star will replace this bracket. Okay, right. So if you write, what you will get? A B C, this minus is replacing this bracket, so minus. Okay, then D, then plus. Okay, plus is replacing this bracket. Okay, then slash is replacing this slash, then E, then A, again minus. Okay, again minus. Okay, and then again minus, and okay, I think we went wrong somewhere. Let us do this again. See, B minus C. See, this is the innermost part. Okay, so B minus C will execute first. Okay, because minus and plus has the equal priority, right? So B minus C, this part should execute first. Okay, so that result will be added with D, right? That result will be added with D. So whatever you get here, B minus C plus D, that will be A will be divided by that value. Okay, fine. Then star. So this result will be multiplied with E minus A. Okay, this result will be multiplied with E minus A. Okay, let us follow the order. So B minus, so first this bracket will execute B minus C, then B plus D will execute. Okay, so if you do this B minus C plus D, you will get something. Say let us call that X. This entire thing B minus C plus D, you got X. Okay, now leaving this B minus C plus D, what are the operators you have? Slash and two stars. Okay, slash and two stars, and there is a bracket, and there is a bracket part. Okay, there is a so this bracket already we have executed. This bracket is there, and this bracket is there. Okay, for bracket, what is the associativity? For bracket, the associativity is left to right. Okay, so it means that this bracket should execute first. Okay, so what it will do? It will do a by x. A by x will be done first. Okay, fine. As a result, once a by x is done, you will get something. You will get something, right? So that will be multiplied with what? This entire thing, it should be multiplied. Okay, that should be multiplied with this. Uh, that should be multiplied with this entire thing. But before that, what should be done is E minus A should be calculated, because that is within the bracket. Okay, so next this E minus A will be calculated. Okay, right? So already we have done A by x. Okay, let us assume A by x is nothing but k. A by x is nothing but k. Okay, A by x is nothing but k. Now you will do E minus A. Say E minus A is nothing but uh, say f. Okay, and then C. Okay, so what you have to do is k star f into C. Okay, but again, in which order you should do? First you should do k star f. Okay, and that should be multiplied with C. Okay, so first you should do k into f, and that should be multiplied with C. So in that case, what happens? Because then you will have one bracket here. Case this entire thing is k, this entire thing is f. So you will have one more bracket here. Okay, and one will have one final outer bracket, right? So this is the total set of brackets. Okay, fine. I think it's clear. So because this is the innermost thing, B minus C plus D. Again here we are doing uh, again when you see this minus and plus, it should go from left to right. So this part will execute first. B minus C plus D, that is evaluated to x. Again you have another bracket. Okay, so that should be done first because it's left to right. So it will do A by B minus C plus D. That only we are taking as k, right? That is done already. Next, what should be done means there is another bracket, so you should move towards right. The next bracket should be completed, which is E minus A. Okay, now you got f. Okay, now you have k star f star C. So there is a question like how it should execute. First should it calculate f star C, or first it should calculate k star f? So again the rule is left to right. So first it should do k star f, so that we added this bracket and this bracket. Okay, this entire thing is we are calling k, this we are calling it as f, and then this overall outer bracket. Okay, now you replace the bracket. This minus will replace this bracket. Okay, this plus will replace this bracket. This slash will replace this particular bracket. Okay, this minus will replace this bracket. Okay, right? This star will replace this bracket, and this star will replace this bracket. Okay, so when you do this, what you will get? A B C minus D plus slash E slash E A. Okay, E A minus this star is coming here, star C star. Okay, so that is how you got this, right? Fine. Okay, so as the expression becomes bigger, you should be very much careful about that, applying those associativity and precedence rule. Okay, so this you can try how it is calculating, you can check with this, right? Fine. So the point which I am trying to make is why we are doing this infix to postfix conversion in this sense, because for the compiler's point of view, it can execute or evaluate the instruction effectively if the instruction is in the postfix format. Okay, so first the instruction should be in the postfix format, and then it can be evaluated by the compiler. Okay, so how convert an instruction to a postfix, that part, I mean manually we did, but how to write a program to convert an infix to postfix, that we will discuss later. But in this lecture what we will be discussing is, given a postfix expression, how it can be evaluated. Okay, that is what we are going to discuss. Okay, so given a postfix expression, how it can be evaluated. So let us assume that there is a postfix expression, something, what you call, there is a postfix expression, something like this: 62 slash 3 minus 4, okay, 2 star and plus. Okay, this is the postfix expression. This is the postfix expression: 62 slash 3 minus 4 2 star plus, and the equivalent infix expression is this: 6 by 2 minus 3 plus 4 into 2. Okay, this is the equivalent infix expression. What is the output of this? So if you see here, there is a slash, minus, plus and star. So this slash part should be done first. Okay, so slash, I mean division and multiplication has equal priority. So left to right means 6 by 2 and then 4 into 2. So what is that? 6 by 2 is 3, 3 minus 3 plus 8. Okay, so now there are two operands, minus and plus. So first again left to right, 3 minus 3 is 0, 0 plus 8 is 8. Okay, so it is 0 plus 8. So the result is nothing but 8. Okay, so now given this postfix expression, given this particular postfix expression, which is nothing but 6 by 6 2 slash 3 minus 4 2 star plus. Okay, how this can be executed, evaluated by the compiler using stack, that's what we are going to discuss. Okay, so we will discuss this uh, for for easy understanding. We are assuming all the numbers to be single digit number, we are not taking any double digit number. So this is the postfix expression: 6 2 slash 3 minus 4 2 star and plus. Okay, so let us assume this is a string, this entire expression is available as a string, and using stack how we can evaluate the expression. So let us read the let us read this string character by character. So each character is called as a token. First read the first token. What is the first token? 6. Okay, check whether it is a operand or a operator. What you should do, check whether it is a operand or a operator. If it is a operator, if it is a operand, just push into the stack. So it is an operand, right? It is not an operator. If it is an operand, just push it into the stack. So it is an operand, push to the stack. Initially stack is empty, so this 6 goes to the 0th location of the stack. Now the top of the stack is nothing but 0. Top pointer is pointing to 0th location. Take the next token 2. Check what it is. Is it a operand or operator? Again it is operand. Push to the next location of the stack. That is, push into the top of the stack. So 0th position of stack contains 6. The current top is 2. And current top element is 2. And the top pointer is pointing to first. Okay, because this is the topmost element which is in the first location. Okay, fine. Next token is what? Slash. What is slash? Is it an operand or operator? It is an operator. Okay, if it is an operator, then what you do? If it is an operator, then pop the recent 2 items from the stack. then pop the recent 2 items from the stack. Okay, so perform 2 times pop. When you perform pop for the first time, you will get some number. Okay, store it in the variable operand 2. Whatever you are popping for the first time should go into operand 2. So operand 2 will have what? 2. Okay, again pop for the second time. Whatever you pop for the second time, that should go into operand 1. So operand 1 is what? 6. Operand 1 is 6. Okay. Okay, after popping these two things, stack becomes empty. Okay. Now perform, based on this, whatever the operator says, perform this operation on operand 1 and operand 2. Are you getting? Whatever you are popping first, that will go to operand 2. Whatever you are popping second, that will go to operand 1. Now whatever this token says, perform that operation on operand 1 and operand 2. Okay, so that is, it means that you do 6 by 2, and the result, whatever result you get, that you push into the top of the stack. Okay, so now the top of the stack will be 6 by 2, the result of 6 by 2, and top position, top, I mean the stack top pointer is going to point 0th location, right? Next, take the next token. What's the next token? 3. Is it operator or operand? Operand. Just push into the stack. So now the current stack is 1. Stack top is 1. Okay. Next, take the next token. What's the next token? Minus. So minus, is it operator or operand? It is operator. If it is operator, pop. 2 times pop. So whatever the things you pop for the first time, keep it in operand 2. So that is nothing but 3. So this is moved out of the stack. Okay. Whatever you pop for the second time, keep it in operand 1. That is nothing but the result of 6 minus 2. Keep it in operand 1. And now whatever the operator, perform that operation on operand 1 and operand 2. So it will perform 6 minus 2 minus 3. 6 by 2 minus 3, which is nothing but 0. Okay. And whatever the result, that you push into the stack. So again stack top will become, so again I mean already previously popped the previous 2 entries and perform this operation, and you have pushed. So once again stack top is stack is pointing to the 0th position, right? Then take the next token. What's the next token? 4. Is it an operator or an operand? It's an operand. Just push into the stack. It will go to the top. So the top is 1 now. Next, take the next token. What is that? 2. Is it an operator or operand? It's an operand. Just push into the stack. So it will take the next position, that is this. So the top of stack is 2. Okay. Next, take the next token. What is that? Star. So star means again it is an operator. So again pop 2 elements from the stack. So the topmost element will go to operator. Whatever that comes out of the first pop, that will go into operand 2, which is nothing but 2. So 2 is nothing but operand 2. When you pop for the second time, whatever you get, that is 4, that will get into operand 1. That will get into operand 1. Okay, it will get into operand 1. Now perform operation on operand 1 and operand 2 of whatever the operator you got. The operator you got is star. So apply star on operand 1 and operand 2. So that is nothing but 4 into 2, that you push into top of the stack. Okay, right? So now the top of the stack is 1. Okay, right? Top of top the stack 0th position contains 6 by 2 minus 3, the result of that, and top of stack contains 4 into 2. Okay, now again take the next token. What's the next token? Plus. Is it operator or operand? It's an operator. Now again pop 2 times. So if you pop for the first time, you will get the result of 4 into 2. Keep that in. Okay, if you perform for the first time, whatever you pop, that what you will get is 4 into 2. That will go to operand 2. Operand 2 is nothing but the result of 4 into 2. Okay, fine. And again pop for the second time. Whatever you pop for the second time, that will go into operand 1, which is nothing but 6 by 2 minus 3, which is nothing but 6 by 2 minus 3, which is nothing but 6 by 2 minus 3. Now perform this operation on operand 1 and operand 2. What is operand 1? 6 by 2 is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. So 0 plus whatever this 4 into 2, that is 8. Whatever the value you get, that is nothing but the result of 6 by 2 minus 3 plus 4 into 2. Push that into the top of the stack. Okay. Now finally the result is available in the top of the stack. Okay. Right. So here using stack we can easily evaluate any expression if the expression is in the postfix notation. Okay. So what you have to do? Just to read the expression character by character, left to right, token by token. Check whether it is a check whether it's an operand or an operator. If it is an operand, just push into the stack. If it is an operator, then don't push that operator to the stack. Rather pop the top two operands. Okay. Whatever the topmost operand, that will go into operand 2, and the next whatever you pop, that will go into operand 1. Now perform the operation on operand 1 and operand 2, and the result push into the stack. Okay. So this process you should keep continuing. Okay, until you read all the tokens from the given string. Finally the final result will be available in the top of the stack. So this is how this expression can be evaluated, right? Fine. Now let us see how to write a program for this. Okay, how to write a program for this. So here is a simple logic which is given. So what is that in the sense? So for in this program we are there are some assumptions. Okay, if you see this table for associativity and precedence, there are many operators. Okay, so this program is not to deal with all these operators, because if you want to deal with all the operators, then the program will become very complex. So this is a simplified version of the algorithm or the program. Okay, which deals only these 4 operators plus these 5 operators, plus, minus, star, slash and modulo operator. Okay, this is our assumption. That is, whatever the expression we are going to give as an input in the postfix notation, that expression will hold only these operators, plus, minus, star, slash and modulo operator. And also the operands will be a single digit number. It will not be a double digit number. Okay, because we are going to read the expression as a character. Okay, if it is a double digit number, then say if it is 23 plus 52, okay, then first you will read 2 as a character, then you will read 3 as a character, then somehow you have to convert these to 23. Are you getting? And you don't know how many characters are there. If it is a 2-digit number, 2 characters. If it's a 3-digit number, 3 characters. Then that logic you have to think. Okay, so the program length will increase. To avoid that, we assume that each number is having only 1 digit. Okay, because our objective here is to understand how the compiler evaluates the postfix notation, postfix expression using stack. Okay, fine. So once this simple program is implemented, later you can upgrade that for multiple digits or other operators also. That's not a big deal. Okay, fine. So some variables we are defining, like as define max stack size as 100, and maximum expression size, that is the length of the expression, that is the number of tokens in the expression, will be set as 100. Okay, and here we are defining a user defined data type. So there is something called as enumerated data type in C. Okay, enum, which is called as enum. Okay, what is that in the sense? This is also one type of using you can create a user defined data type using enum. Okay, you can create a user defined data type using enum. How in the sense? Say for example, I'll explain a simple case. Say I'm saying like this. What I'm saying, type def. So type def is used for creating any user defined data type that we already discussed. Okay, so what is enumerated data type in the sense? Let me give with an example. So say I'm saying that type def enum stands for enumerated data type. Okay, say I'm saying that here I'm saying it is tail and head. Okay, tail and head. Close the bracket, right? Close the bracket, and I think it should end with a semicolon, right? Now this enum contains two things. What are they? Tail and head. Okay. Now for this enum, I can create a user defined. I can, using this enum, I can create my own data type. Okay. So how to do that in the sense, how to do that means I should write okay, sorry, I'll write again something, the space is not, so if I do like this, type def enum say, I'll say T for tail, H for head. Okay, T and H. Now close the bracket, coin. So if you toss a coin, you will get either head or tail. Okay, so this now coin is a user defined data type. Now coin is a user defined data type. Okay, I can create variables for coin, like coin C1, C2, C3, like that I can create variables for coin. What is C1? C1 is a variable of type coin. C2 is a variable of type coin. Okay. And what C1 and C2 can hold? C1 and C2 can hold either T or H. So I can assign C1 is equal to T, which means coin 1 is currently in tail position. Okay, and I can assign C2 is equal to H, which means coin 2 is currently in head position. Right? And by default, compiler will give some numbering in order. So the first number, it will be 0, second will be 1. So the default numbering for tail will be 0 and default numbering for head will be 1. Okay, like this, wherever you want, you can use enumerated data type. So other application we use is to store weekdays: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, you can store enum, yeah, Monday comma Tuesday comma the Wednesday comma Thursday comma Friday comma Saturday comma Sunday, and you can name it as weekdays. Okay, now you can, weekdays is a data type. Now you can create variable for weekdays, like weekdays command weekdays space day 1. So day 1 is a variable of type weekday. Now you can assign day 1 is equal to Saturday. Okay, so when you assign day 1 is equal to Saturday, it will take the value. What value it will take? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will take the value 5. Okay, right? So that is what an enumerated data type is. So here also we are going to use enumerated data type. Type def enum contains what in the sense, this is L, this is not 1. L stands for left parenthesis. Okay, so left parenthesis, right parenthesis, these are the names we are giving: left parent, right parenthesis, plus, minus, times for multiplication, times represent multiplication, divide, modulo operator, end of string, okay, EOS, or operand. Okay, so when you, so we decided that our expression will have only these things and only these operators, so that we include only this: plus, minus, multiplication, division, and modulo. Okay, and anyway the string, finally the expression should end with some null character. Okay, that is what end of string is. Okay, and parentheses may be there, that we cannot avoid. Okay, sometimes parentheses may be there, so for that we have left parenthesis and right parenthesis. Now this is the number, left parenthesis has the number 0, right parenthesis has 1, 2, 3, 4, like that it has taken. Okay, and for this thing we are creating a user defined data type called precedence. Now using precedence is the name of the data type. You can create variable for precedence. Okay, if I create a variable p for precedence, say precedence p, I'm not writing fully, precedence p means, then p can hold any one of these value. P can hold either parent, I mean left parenthesis or right parenthesis or plus or minus, whatever it may be. Accordingly, that number p will be holding. Okay, so this is how this thing works, right? And we are creating a stack where this is just an, what do you call, uh, integer stack with an array of integer with maximum of 100 values. We are creating a character array of expression with a maximum of 100, that is the input string can have maximum 100 characters. Okay, now this is the main function. So this is a comment line which says that evaluate a postfix expression. The expression, we are assuming that it is available in the string expr. Okay, it is available in the string expr, and that string is terminated by the null character, that is the last character will be /0. Okay, the stack and top of the stack, all these are global variables, that is they are declared before the main function. And get token is used to return a particular token, one character. Okay, it will return one character, and that will be stored in a character called symbol. Okay, and operands are assumed to be single digit. So with this understanding, let us see how we can evaluate a postfix expression. So first what we are doing is we are creating an variable for the user defined data type precedence. So here we have discussed precedence. Precedence is an enumerated data type which includes all these things, left parenthesis, right parenthesis, plus, minus, everything, and the name of the user defined data type is precedence. For that we are creating a variable called token. Okay, so token can be any one of these. Whatever the token we are going to read from the expression, it can be any one of these, right? It can be either left parenthesis, right parenthesis, or plus or minus or multiplication or divide or modulo or end of string or operand. Okay, then we are creating a character variable symbol, and then we are creating two integers, operand 1 and operand 2. Okay, then initially we are setting n is equal to 0 because we have to, what should we do, we have to read character by character from 0th position from this particular expression. Okay, so we assume that this expression holds the whatever the string we want to evaluate. Okay, so let us assume this is the string we want to evaluate, 62/3 minus 42 star plus. Okay, that string, let us assume 62/3 minus 42 star plus. Okay, let us assume that string is available in this variable expression. Okay, whatever it may be, 62 slash whatever, finally it ends with \0. Okay, so this particular string 62/3 minus 42, 62/ minus 42 star plus. Okay, star, and it ends with a \0. \0 is read as one character, it's not two characters. Okay, including backslash, this backslash, it is just read as one character. Okay, this is backslash, this is 0. Okay, this is the string which we are going to evaluate. Okay, and this string is stored in the particular character array expr. Okay, this is our understanding, right? And we have created a stack. Here you can see it's just an array. We are using only arrays for stack, not structures. Let us make things simple. So we are going to use this array as a stack with maximum size of 100. And initially top is -1 because stack is empty. Okay, and get token, see, listen this carefully, get token ampersand symbol comma ampersand number. So get token is a function which is going, and for this function you are passing two address. What are the address you are passing? You are passing the address of symbol and the address of n. What is symbol? Symbol is a character. So in the memory location there is something called as symbol. There is something called a symbol and it has some address. There is something called a symbol, it has some address. Say its address is 2000. Okay, similarly there is something called as n. There is n is an integer whereas symbol is a character. N also has some address, say this is 3000. These two address you are passing to a function which is called as get token. Okay, so in get token you should use pointers. Okay, so there let us see that function get token. it takes two pointers, symbol and n. But these are local variables. You can see this function, this symbol and n is applicable only for this function eval. Okay, it is defined only here, symbol and n. Similarly, that here also there is a symbol and n that is applicable only to this function get token. Okay, so it's not that both are same. Okay, so the function in the get token, it is using another variable symbol. Okay, right, this is a pointer variable. Okay, and that this symbol is holding the address of 2000. Okay, okay, so it means that the function in the get val, the symbol is a pointer that is pointing to this particular character. Similarly, in the function get token, there is a term n. Again, this n is a pointer. In get token, symbol is a pointer, n is a pointer. Whereas in eval, symbol is just a character, n is also just a integer. Okay, so the n, the pointer n of get token will hold 3000 because we are passing as the parameter. So it means that is pointing to this n of get token. Okay, so this is what here we are doing. Okay, fine. So okay, so now go back here. Now you are passing ampersand symbol and ampersand n. So you get token of ampersand symbol comma ampersand n. Sorry. Yeah, so get token of ampersand symbol comma ampersand n, that's what we are passing, right? So let us see what is ampersand symbol and how it is going to read. Okay, fine. So this starting address you have passed here, right, to this function get token. Okay, get token, what it is going to do is star symbol is equal to expression of star n plus plus. What is star n? Star n is, now we are in get token, so this part corresponds to get token. Star n is 3000, star n is value at n. What is value at n? 0. What is initially value at n is 0. Okay, so what it is doing, you can see here, it is expression of star n plus plus. It is post incrementing. Okay, so it is expression of 0. Okay, what is expression? Already I said expression contains this. Expression of 0 is what? 6. So it means you are reading 6. The character 6 you are reading. Okay, and that will be now stored in star symbol. What is star symbol? Value at symbol. Okay, so what is symbol? Symbol is 2000. Star symbol is here. So here you are going to store 6. So now symbol contains 6. That is what it is doing first. Okay, now symbol is stored with 6. Then we are checking switch star symbol. What is the value in star symbol? It is 6. Okay, so then we check whether is it a open bracket. No, if it is open bracket it will return L parent, which means it is 0. If it's a closed bracket it will return R parent, which means 1. Okay, if it is a plus it will return plus, if it is a minus it will return minus. All these are all these L parent, R parent, plus, minus, all these we defined in the enumerated data type. Okay, if it is slash it will return divide, if it is star it will return times, if it is mod it will return mod, if it is slash 0 it will return UOS. In default case it will return operand. Okay, operand is also something defined in the our enumerated data type. Here you can see operand is also there. Okay, so now 6 is the operand. Okay, 6 is the operand, so the default case will execute and it will return operand, right? It will return operand. Okay, so token is equal to what? Precedence. Token is a variable of type precedence. What is precedence? Precedence is the name of that enumerated data type. Okay, so now what is token? Token is nothing but now we know that it's operand. That's all we know. So it returns that particular thing. It's an operand. That much we know. Okay, fine. Next what we do, Next, see, there is a for loop, while loop. What it does, while token not equal to UOS. Is token is equal to UOS? No. Token is equal to operand, which is not UOS. Then what it checks, it enters the loop. If token is equal to operand, okay, if the token is an operand, okay, then what it should do, it should push into the stack. But how it should push? It should push as an integer. We should convert this 6 to an integer. But right now we are reading it as a character. See this symbol, what type? It is a character. This expression also string. So how could you convert this to an integer? So for that we are doing this. Symbol minus 0. 0, character 0. So character 0 means it represents the ASCII value of 0. What is the ASCII value of 0? What is the ASCII value of 0? I think the ASCII value of 0 is 63 or something. So whatever the ASCII value of 6, that will be whatever the ASCII value of character 6, that will be subtracted with the ASCII value of 0. Okay. So when you do that, what you will get is, uh, 1. Okay. So ASCII value of 0 is 48, right? ASCII value of 0 is 48. So ASCII value of from there you can calculate the ASCII value of 6. Okay. So if ASCII value of 0 is 48, right? If ASCII value of 0 is 48, then ASCII value of 6 is 54. So what it is doing is, symbol is nothing but 6, the character 6. Okay. ASCII value of 6 is 54. So 54 minus 54 minus 48. What is that? 54 minus 48, you will get 6. Okay, this will, so when you subtract that ASCII value 54 minus 48, I think you are following. So symbol contains 6. Okay, ASCII value of 6 is 54. So and ASCII value of 0 is 48. So what this is it doing is, it is subtracting ASCII value of 6, which is 54, which 54 minus the ASCII value of 0, which is 48. So 54 minus 48 is nothing but 6. Now we got the integer 6. Okay, this is a character 6. Now we got the integer 6, and that you are adding to the top of the stack. Okay, you can just do that with a push function. That should be added to the top of the stack. Okay, so that is what this statement is doing here. Okay, so like that it will work for any number 0 to 9, because we are assuming only one digit number. We are not taking any 2-digit number. Okay, next, so this is the case if it is operand. If it is operand, just push into the stack. You recall our procedure. What should we do? If it is operand, push into the stack. If it is operator, then pop the recent 2 recent. Else, if it is a operator, then what you should do? Operand 2 is equal to pop. So instead of delete, you can call pop. Pop the perform first pop, and that store that in operand 2. Perform pop once again and store that in operand 1. Okay. Then whatever the token, recently read. Okay. So we will do this only if it is an operator. Okay. So that in that case, token will be an operator. So then switch token. If it is a plus, so this plus is defined here in the enumerated data type, plus minus all these things. If it is plus, what you do? You can directly add. You need not write like this function. You can directly say operand 1 plus operand 2 and push that to top of the stack. Okay, break. If it is a minus, add operand 1 with, subtract operand 1, operand 2 from operand 1 and add it to the top of the stack, or push into the top of the stack. If it is times or multiplication, then multiply operand 1 with operand 2 and push it to the top of the stack. If it is divide operand 1 by operand 2 and push it to the top of the stack. If it is modulo, calculate operand 1 modulo operand 2 and pushing to the top of the stack. Okay, so this is the switch ends here, else ends here, then take the next token. Token equal to get token ampersand symbol comma ampersand n. By that time here you could have seen this n will increment to the next character. So we discussed 6, then it will be 2. So like that it will continue until it is not an end of I mean backslash 0. Okay, because this while loop continues until uis. Uis is nothing but, here you can see uis is nothing but uh, uh, here we have given uis is nothing but backslash 0, right? Finally the top of the stack will be having the final result. Okay, in this expression the final result is 8, so that can be finally popped from the top of the stack. Okay, this is the logic. Let me show you the code. Here I have written that code. So I think I have to open, yeah, so sorry, I have to open WSL. Let me open WSL. Okay, it's taking time. One window got opened. Let me do cd backslash. I have already written the code. Let me check where it is. ls. Hmm, what name it is? So this one eval underscore expression dot c. So the code is very similar whatever we have discussed in that slide. stdio.h. So this is the max size of stack, which I am just saying it is max, and stack we are using just an array. Okay, character array of size 100. Okay, it's a character array of size 100. but we need an integer array, right? So let me change it to integer. It's not a character array, it's an integer array of size 100, and top of stack is initially -1. So this is the expression we are going to evaluate. We can change this expression. You should give a valid postfix expression here, that's it. And this is the enumerated data type, whatever we have discussed there with all these things. And we are creating a user defined data type precedence. Okay, and this is the function declaration for get token. See, if the function I mean, actually if you are writing the function before the main function, then you need not declare, otherwise you should declare in C. Okay, here I am writing this get token after the main function, so the compiler should know that such a function exists, then you have to declare. So the declaration includes the return type, the function name, and the type of the arguments. Okay, so the return type is precedence, function name is get token. It takes two arguments, one is a character pointer, other one is an integer pointer, and it should end with a semicolon. Declaration should always end with a semicolon. Okay, so when you should write declaration means if the calling function is coming before the called function. If you are writing calling function before the called function, then you have to use declaration. Okay, if you are writing called function before the calling function, then no need to write declaration. Fine. So these are just stack, the push part of the stack, which you know. Okay, and this is the pop part of the stack. Okay, and this is the main function. N is initialized to 0. Symbol character is a symbol is of type character. Token is of type precedence. Two operands of type integer, and token is equal to get token ampersand symbol ampersand and whatever we have discussed there. And this is the corresponding function get token, which takes two pointer. One is a pointer to a character, another one is a pointer to an integer. And we are taking character by character from the expression, and we are checking what it is. If it is the left bracket or right bracket, then we are returning the appropriate thing. In the default case, we are returning operand. If it is an /0, the last character, then we are returning UOS. Okay, and accordingly it will return, and then we check while token not equal to UOS. If it is equal to operand, then we convert that to integer. For converting integer, we are using this logic. Push of symbol -0. This symbol -0, as I already said, if it is 6, it will do 54 minus 48, because ASCII value of 6 is 54, 0 is 48, so 54 minus 48 is what? 6. So it will just push 6 into stack. So push is our function which we have written, which is just used to push the value into a stack. It takes an, yeah, it should be integer. It takes an integer and it just pushes that stack of plus plus top is equal to ch. Okay, similarly pop also it will return an integer. Okay, so before pushing we are checking whether if top of stack is less than max -1. Okay, if top of stack is equal to max -1, it means stack is full. Okay, you cannot push. If it is less than max -1, then we are incrementing top of stack and we are pushing, otherwise we are staying stack is full. Before popping, we are checking whether top of stack is equal to -1 or not. If it is not -1, we are popping, otherwise we are not popping. Okay, so that is what it does. Otherwise, if it is not an operand, then we pop 2 times. Whatever you pop first, that goes to operand 2. Whatever you pop second time, that goes to operand 1. And then we write switch of token, the same logic. If it is plus, push of operand 1 plus operand 2, that is add and then push. If it is minus, subtract and push into the stack. If it is multiply, multiply and push. If it is divide, divide operand 1 by operand 2 and push. If it is modulo, perform modulo and push. So do this until you read all the characters, that is until end of character is reached. Okay, finally so that is again read the next token and continue that. So this is the end of switch, this is the end of else, and this is the end of the outer while. Finally, once you pop from the stack, that pop will have the final result. Okay, so let me execute Control O, Control X, gcc eval underscore expression dot c hyphen o eval underscore expression. dot slash eval underscore expression. You can see the final result is 8. Okay, here also I'm pushing whatever the operands we are pushing into the stack, that also I'm displaying, right? So that's it. We'll stop here. So thank you.